Hi everyone, let's talk some more about solving equations. So today we're going to take it up a notch and make it a little bit more difficult. So the first thing you're going to have to do in some problems is use the distributive property. So the distributive property is when you have a quantity or a number multiplied by everything in a set of parentheses. So that means that if I'm taking A times B plus C, I'm going to take A times B and add that to A times C. So A times B plus A times C. Now, if I'm subtracting B and C, then I'm just going to subtract AB times AC. So I'm going to distribute that A out to my B and to my C. So I'll have AB minus AC. Cool. All right, so now we want to distribute the following. Over here, I'm going to take that 3 and I'm going to multiply it by x and I'm going to multiply it by 5. So 3 times x is 3x. I have a plus in the middle, so I'm going to bring that on down. And then 3 times 5 is 15. Go ahead and try the next one. So hopefully you went through and you took 2x minus 7 and got 14x. I'm sorry, 2x times 7 and got 14x. Brought down that minus sign, and then took 1 times 7 and got 7. Okay, so on this next one, this is something you have to be very, very careful about. I'm multiplying by a negative number right here, so we have to be careful. So negative 3 times 5x, well, negative 3 times 5 is negative 15, and then we have an x. Now, over here, think of this as multiplying it by negative 2. So negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. So since that's positive 6, I should have plus 6 in the middle. So just be really careful about that when it comes up. Okay, now we're going to talk about combining like terms. So combining like terms, we do that when everything that we're talking about is on the same side of the equal sign. Okay, so if they have the same variables or if they don't have any variables. If they don't have any variables, those are called constants. So we're going to combine everything that we can. Remember, we're not doing opposite things yet. We're not doing inverse operations. We use inverse operations when we're trying to take things away from both sides or add something to both sides. If we're just trying to simplify one side, that's when we're going to combine like terms. So here's what I mean. I have a 3x right here. Let's see if there's anything else with an x. Plus 2x. So 3x plus 2x makes 5x. Then I have a negative 5. He doesn't have any x's on it. And the other guy that doesn't have any x's on it is negative 17. So negative 5 minus 17 is negative 22. So I'll have to have minus 22. And then all my like terms are combined. Since 5 has an x with it and 22 doesn't, I can't put them together. So over here, let's combine it again. We got this 4x. Then I'm going to see what else I combine with an x. I have another 4x. 4x minus 4x is 0 though, right? So actually, those cancel out. Now I have 18, negative 2, and positive 6. So since none of those have a letter or a variable with them, I'm just going to add them together like a normal person. So 8 minus 2 is 16, plus 6 is 22. Since when I added those x's together, they went away, I don't have any x's left. Go ahead and try the next one. Okay, so hopefully you combined your x, 3x, and negative 2x all together to get 2x. And you combined your negative 5 and your 7 together to get 2. Okay, on this last one, let's see what we can combine. So 3x. I don't have any other x's to combine that with, so I'm just going to leave it as 3x. Then I have a 2y. I don't have any other y's to combine it with, so I'm just going to have to leave him alone. And then you don't have to do it in this order, but it feels good to me. Then I've got z, right? I don't have any other z's to combine it with, so I'm going to have that next. And then I have a 17. And just like before, we didn't have anything to put with it. So I'm just going to have a minus 17. So sometimes when you want to combine like terms, there's nothing you can combine, and that's okay. So on these, we're going to go through and have to use each of these rules that we just reviewed to be able to solve these equations. So we want to solve the equations for x and then round to the nearest tenth. So first, when I have that number that's being multiplied by those parentheses, I'm going to distribute that out. Take 3 times x plus 3 times 7. So 3 times x is 3x. There's a plus in the middle. And then 3 times 7 is 21. And then that equals 45. So to bring 21 to the other side, I have to subtract it since it's being added. So that way, plus 21 minus 21 adds to 0. And all I'm left with on that left side is x. And when I take 45 minus 21, I'm left with 24. Since 3 and x are being multiplied, I have to divide by 3 to get x by itself. These 3's divide away and cancel. So x equals 8. Go ahead and try the next one. Okay, so hopefully on that one you got x equals 5. If you didn't, please pause the video and check and see where you went wrong. Let's do the next one together. So we have this negative 3x on one side and a 2x on the other one. And in fact, when I came to this problem, I went and talked to some of your integrated 1 teachers and said, hey, do you try to get them to keep the x positive? Do you try, or your variable positive? Do you try to get all of the variables to the left side and all the numbers to the right? And they said, you know what, we don't really prescribe one certain way, which is totally fine. So we can do it either way. What I think I'm going to do to solve this problem is to move 2x to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. So negative 3x minus 2x is negative 5x. Still have that plus 2 equals. These add to 0, and then I'm left with 37. So then I need to subtract 2 from both sides to start getting x by itself. My 2's will add to 0, so I'm still left with negative 5x on one side. And 37 minus 2 is 35. So negative 5 and x are being multiplied. So to undo that multiplication, I have to divide by negative 5 on both sides. Those negative 5's divide away. And I'm just left with x. And then 35 divided by negative 5 is negative 7. So maybe you decided to add 3x on both sides and subtract 37 on both sides. Either way, you're still going to get the same answer. So I don't want you to feel like if you would have approached it a different way that you would have gotten it wrong. Go ahead and try the next one on your own. Hopefully you got negative 9 on that one. If you didn't, pause the video and see what mistake you made. Okay, let's try the next ones. Okay. So here's what we'll do first. We need to combine like terms. So we have a 7x and a 3x on the same side. Since they're on the same side, I'm going to just combine them together. When they're on different sides, that's when I do inverse operations. So same sides, we're gonna combine like terms. So 7x plus 3x gives me 10x. Then I have minus 10 equals 40. Now to get 10x by itself, I want to move that 10 to the other side of the equal sign. So since I'm moving something to the other side of the equal sign, now I'm going to use inverse operations. So I want to add 10 to both sides. These 10's will add to 0, so we're just left with 10x equals, and then 40 plus 10 is 50. Now we'll need to divide by 10 on both sides since 10 and x are being multiplied. And we'll get that x equals 5. Go ahead and try the next one. So on that one, you might have gotten kind of a strange answer. So after you took 4 divided by negative 6, that's going to simplify to be negative 2/3, or negative 0.66666 forever, right? So if you decide to write that as a decimal, make sure you put 0.6 and you put a little hat on it so that way we know that he's a repeating decimal. Okay, let's try the next one. So, oh geez, we have a set of parentheses. So we need to distribute everything, this negative 4, by everything in that parentheses. I'm going to multiply it on through. So negative 4 times negative 5x. A negative times negative makes a positive. So that's 20x. Negative 4 times 2. Oopsies. Let me move my face out of the way so you can really see what I'm writing. There we go. That's better. Okay. So negative 4 times negative 5x is 20x. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. And then I still had minus 3x minus 5 equals negative 30 from my problem. So now I'm going to combine like terms. 20 has an x, so I can combine my negative 3x with it. 20x minus 3x is 17x. Now we've got negative 8 minus 5. So negative 8 minus 5 is negative 13. And I still have that equals negative 30. Now I left that negative 30 out of combining it with negative 8 and negative 5 because negative 30 is on the other side of the equal sign. When I combine like terms, I'm only doing that on one side of the equal sign. Okay, now I want to move the 13 over to the other side. So since I'm moving that 13 over, I have to do inverse operations. So that means I have to add 13 on both sides. These add to 0, so I'm just left with 17x over on the left. And negative 30 plus 13 is negative 17. So then we'll divide by 17 on both sides, since x and 17 are being multiplied. And we'll end up with negative 1. Go ahead and try the last one. All right, hopefully you got the same answer. If you had any questions about anything, please let me know. I would love to help. See you guys later.